Hey, Coach Mandy Green here. I want to share with you and walk you through a winning the week planning session. A lot of coaches have been asking, why am I doing this week after week? Because as a coach, no week is the same. And each week we might need to plan new things or different things or prioritize some things over others. But also I want you I'm trying to use this space to get yourself in the habit of going through the certain routine at the end of the week so you can go into the weekend with a plan and let your subconscious start working on how to solve some of the problems that you have coming up this next week. But then wake up Monday morning with a purpose. You know exactly what you need to do, and you can just get into the week and get going right away without procrastinating. You know what to do, you know when to do it, and you can get after it. Okay. I would love for you to first, any wins did you have last week? We spent too much time acknowledging things that we didn't get done. What were some of the successes you had? Okay. This is the process that I'm going to walk you through quickly here. This is one of the sheets that if you have my daily planner, you'll have this sheet, or if you've been to any of the other workshops that I've done with this, you have this sheet. Have that to reference. First thing, always, before you start any planning session, review, where are we going? Because I think once you key in and emotionally engage, or just remind yourself, what are you after? You're going to have a much more clear understanding of the tasks and the priorities that are really important and those that are not. One thing I want to encourage you to do is put this vision of where you're going and what you're committed to accomplishing by the end of the year up in a place where you can see it. This is something I borrowed from Brendan Richard. He's one of the guys that I follow, but this is called a battle board, right? Is when put this in a place, it's not a post-it note or, some app on your phone. This is a place where you can see it every single day, you and your staff, what you're trying to accomplish. You'll be amazed at when you look and relook, and you're always looking and seeing at these things and where you're going and what you're trying to accomplish and where you're falling short and what the deadlines are. It'll change your to-do list, and it's going to help you eliminate distractions. It's going to help you keep focused. Put your vision in a place where you can see it, but review it first before you get into planning. Second, let's go back to what you did last week. Pull out your to-do list, review it. What were the outcomes that were the result of the work that you put in? I put in to this slideshow, these are some things that you can use to reflect on last week. We're trying to learn a lesson. Why do you watch game film with your team? You set a plan, and then what do, right? We watch the game film so we can go back and we can see who is executing the plan. How well are we executing the plan? Do we need to make adjustments? All those things. I want you to, through this review of last week, the point is to not make the same mistakes over and over and over again. And small little improvements week after week lead to big things as coaches. Okay. These are a couple different reflection pages that you could use, take it or leave it, but scale of 1 to 5, how'd you do on those things? And then what could you do to get 1 point higher? These are other just different review forms. You could use one of them, you could use all of them, but just the point is to create awareness of how you're showing up every single day, and not to make you feel guilty, but just what are you doing well and what are some areas that could use improvements, so you can come up with a game plan as to where to put more of your focus this upcoming week, right? Always in the effort to, this is performance planning, not staying busy, but what do we need to do to accomplish the goals? I find a lot of coaches don't reach their goals because they're just not spending enough time on it. This could be something you reflect on is, am I putting enough time into key areas that are going to get, again, my program where I want it to go? This is another form that I love. It's just these 5 questions can change the game for you. Too many coaches, we get so busy and our heads down and just focused on what needs to get done today that And if we get going too far and too fast without stopping to take time to reflect on the impact and the results that we're getting, a lot of times before we know it, we're going in completely the wrong direction, and we might be too far off course, right, to get back on track anytime soon. So it's just a quick little check-in. Again, what did I work on last week? What were the results that I got? Based on those things, based on these key categories, what should I continue doing? What should I stop doing? What should I start doing? What should I do more of, do less of? Just a quick review. This quick little review, you could do it at the end of every week. I mean, I have it as a 4-week kind of review, just once a month, however you want to do it. But this is something that can give you a competitive advantage because most coaches aren't doing this work. This is all these things that I'm talking about. Are they upfront work? Yes. But that small investment of time up front, I'm promising you, it is so worth it on the back end. It's not only going to save you time, again, you're going to have a better feel and control of your schedule, and you're just going to, the feeling of making progress towards your goals, it's going to make you feel more in control. You're going to be happier, hopefully, right? We incorporate more health-based things on your calendar. It's going to make you more productive and keep you in the game for longer. Okay. But those are just some reflection activities. Take it or leave it. But it's look back, create awareness. What am I spending too much time on? Right? What's working? What's not working? All those things. But quick little things that you can do. I like having coaches write it at the bottom so we can keep making reference to it to make sure that we're learning the lesson and applying the lesson that we learned, right, as we schedule this upcoming week. Next, let's set our targets. Okay. I believe goals, they're out there. There's something we can see. I want you to get more specific and actually put a number to the target that we're trying to hit. What do we, because I really believe you can't improve what we can't measure. So some of the targets that I have examples here that I want you to put on this form: work done by 5:30, create new Instagram, right, leads, 5 campus visits. To me, so I had a coach who is like, Mandy, do I have my coaches reach out to 100 kids on Instagram every day? Is that a good target to hit? No, it's not, because you could reach out to 100, but if 0 respond, that's a big waste of time and effort. Have it, what is an objective thing where we can tell we either hit it or we didn't hit it? So it's 10 kids on Instagram. Those 10 kids, it might take you 1,000 kids to reach out and DM before 10 actually respond. And if that's the case, now we can go back and again review the data, review the game film, and we can see, okay, 10 kids responded, 1,000, it took 1,000 kids reaching out. Now we need to probably adjust the message, or we need to adjust the timing, or we need to maybe hit a different market in a different location, but you see where I'm going with this. Now we can adjust our actions and we can kind of pinpoint some areas to make improvements on versus just let's start recruiting on Instagram, right? I mean, that is a goal, but it's hard to really measure and pinpoint areas where we can make improvements. You know what I'm saying? So what's the target you're hitting this week? So vision, review the vision. What are the targets that we can hit that are going to get us closer? We're performance planning, right? Not just planning to plan, and making a to-do list. What's the target we're trying to hit? Tracking forms, right? If whatever the numbers you're trying to hit, I'm a visual person. Let's have it on paper. Let's track it. Okay. Next, let's get what are all of the things for this next upcoming week? Maybe you need to transfer some things from the previous week to this upcoming week. What are the things that need to end up on your to-do list? You could just go off memory. My favorite is my master to-do list. This is a list, and I sent this to all of you that registered for my webinar, a list of all of the things that could get done throughout the course of the year. Okay, too many coaches. We just, again, blinders on what needs to get done today. I want you to start thinking future, this whole week, or even this month. What are all of the things that we have coming up that could get done? Get them out of your head and on, or even like what you'll see if you are looking at this master to-do list as you're watching this webinar is there are tabs at the bottom. You could move it to the March tab or the April tab or whatever, but get it all out of this one big section and put it here. most coaches, we are reacting, or we're using our inbox as our to-do list, and we're using that to tell us what to do. And that's where it's really hard to make progress on things, because your inbox is other people's agendas for what they need from you, right? What are we trying to accomplish, and what are the tasks that are going to help us get there? And the next step, break them into themes. Okay, I want you to group similar tasks together and tackle them in batches. So, for example, you could schedule all your meetings in one afternoon. You could dedicate a specific block of time to recruiting, or to emails, or to just catching up. Friday for me is a catch up day. Okay, whatever it is for you, but just examples, right? If it's a way to work through your week in a more simple way, is when you batch like-minded tasks together. It doesn't have to be all day, every day, but just it could be in the morning, you're doing recruiting, and then the afternoon, we're leaving it open and flexible and letting whatever happens. You know what I'm saying? But get it all out of your head onto paper, and then segment it based into like-minded tasks. And then priorities. Not all tasks are created equal. Agree? Okay. Once you've identified that mission, now hopefully you have a better understanding of tasks that are really important and those that aren't. Because not all tasks are going to get you to where you want to go. And even as you know, you're kind of segmenting your master list, there are program building activities that are important but not urgent. There are daily operation tasks, optional, or maybe I could have put urgent on there, but a lot of these tasks are even tasks that you're being asked to do and they're really not a part of your job, right? You could segment your things that way, but I really want you to, the goal of this is to just get you really thinking about not just having one big long to-do list. What are the tasks that are gonna help, that are gonna have a bigger bang for my buck when I work on them? So some examples that I like using with coaches, right? How can we leverage our week and leverage our ability as a coach to make progress faster? Here are three different options for things that you could prioritize. One could be program building. What is one task that could elevate your program's mission? I mean, recruiting, right, is obviously a big one. What could be a personal growth? Coming to the Friday planning session, right? That is a personal growth session. It could be reading a book. It could be listening to a podcast in the car, or whatever it is. Third, I'm all about operational efficiency, right? What is one thing that you could do that would take a little upfront work to set it up, but long term, it is going to free up time. It's going to make the task go smoother. It's going to eliminate mistakes. It's going to increase or decrease the time it takes to complete the task. It's going to allow you to pass off the task in a much easier way to an assisting coach who might need to do it. You know what I'm saying? So vision, targets, right? And then brain dump. What are all of the tasks that I need to do to hit my targets? And then I got to prioritize. Okay. And then we got to schedule it. If it is not scheduled, you might have the best intentions in the world to get something done, but if it is not on your schedule and blocked off, like practice, does anything move practice? Does any, like, I mean, unless it's an absolute emergency, does a different task that pops up or somebody stopping in your office, did any of that move practice time? Probably not. Unless it's like the president or the athletic director, maybe. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, is I want you to start with this weekly calendar, start filling it in. Now, there are some prompts on the side that you can follow. I'm all about how can we put the big stuff and most important stuff, or even the fun stuff, in first. When is your family time? When are you working out? When are you taking care of yourself, right? I mean, some of those things, the important things, right? We got to make sure we take care of yourself first and lead yourself first, you know, because you're not going to be able to lead other people effectively until you lead yourself. But when does that stuff make sense to get in here? But you could also, right, as coaches, you've got pretty set schedules with certain things. When is practice? When is weights? When do you have meetings? Other things that you can do to put boundaries on your day. And the whole point to putting boundaries in is I want you to get away from feeling like I got all the time in the world to do all my stuff. You don't. Okay. So this is a way to visually see which time of the day or how much time each day do I have to actually get done the things I need to do. And you'll quickly realize when you start planning your week this way, you don't got time to do everything. Okay. So you can't keep everything on your to-do list. There are going to be things that maybe fall off. Or if you do have staff, maybe these are some of the things we need to let go control of some of the stuff and we need to pass it off to somebody else. But so what are some of these targets that you set? When are you working on them? Okay. So if I have 5 campus visits that I'm scheduling and I need to create 10 new prospects, okay, when does it make sense for me to work on these things? I true believer, right? Not all time is created equal. Not all tasks are created equal. There are times in the day when your energy is the best, your focus is the best, and you get the fewest interruptions. You can make more progress in a week than most coaches do in a year, right? Probably not a year, maybe a month, right? When you align high value tasks with the time of day when your energy and focus are good. But we've got to block it off. Block it off on your calendar. I get as coaches, you want to be open and you want to be flexible, right? So you want to be there and available for your team. I get that. But I'm not saying you got to block off every minute of every day. I'm just saying that time of day when your focus and energy is good and you get the fewest interruptions, can we align and be very intentional about scheduling high value tasks in that time so we can make progress and feel more in control of our schedule and what we're getting done. And then the rest of the day, it can be open and it can be flexible in the things. But as long as we're making progress and intentional about blocking that time off and not letting anything else come in the way, that is how I'm helping coaches be more intentional with their schedule and protect that part of your day. You'll find like everything else will run smoother when you can get these key things done. So again, it's vision. It is setting targets. It is learning from the previous week, right? So we're adjusting this schedule week after week based on the things that we've learned. We're setting our targets here. And then, right, what are all of the activities? We're getting them all out of our head and we're organizing them, batching them together into like-minded tasks, right? So we're doing the like-minded things at the same time. You're going to find you'll work through them more efficiently. And then we're looking at our calendar and where are the immovable things? Put those on there first. And then what time do I have left that I can be intentional about aligning, again, creating that magic time, high value tasks with time that my energy and focus are good, aligning that and blocking that off, and then again, you're going to have a lot of flexibility and freedom with some of the things, but that's how I'm helping coaches win the week. That's how you can win your week. There are a few more things in here, just ideas for you to think about as you're planning your week, right? Things you should and shouldn't do. And just going through and really being strict about what ends up on your calendar and what needs to get taken off, but you're done. And I mean, I know I'm elongating this, but literally, again, vision, reflect on last week to learn something new, to make small improvements. We're setting targets. We're like listing out the tasks that we need to do to hit the targets. And then we're blocking it on your calendar. And then, right, that's the planning part. It's that simple. And then get to work, right? I love once you kind of, again, Friday, plan things out. Monday morning, what I encourage you to do with your staff, review the vision. If I were to go into your office and ask your staff, what's the vision for the program? Would they be able to just fire it right off and say it like it's second nature to them? Or are they going to be like, I don't know, right? But establish that, be working towards that plan for working towards that, but review it. And then each person, what are your priorities for this week? Okay, establish that so everybody knows what are the numbers each person is trying to hit, obstacles preventing them from making progress. Off you go, work, right? I find when coaches are doing this consistently, they're getting time back. And this is so you're basically what you're doing is you're cutting your operational tasks in half. You're eliminating tasks that aren't working for you. You're getting clear on what is important, right? And it's going to help you make more progress. Okay. So that is my weekly planning process in a nutshell, right? With a little elaboration, but you get where I'm going with this, hopefully. That is my email address. That's my phone number. Text me. Text me, your wins, your vision, your targets that you're trying to hit, your master to-do list. If you want me to take a look at it, if you want me to see your weekly planning page, send it. I'd love to see it. Send it to me and let's talk through what's working and what's not working for you. Okay. So my goal with Busy Coach, right, is to help keep you on track, make you aware of areas that of your program and how you're showing up to work every day. The goal is to help you maintain your physical and mental energy, be prioritizing key activities so we're making the progress and you're having the influence that I know you want to make to be a successful coach and stay in this career for a long time. So I hope my little part in all of this is just getting the wheel spinning. And again, even if you've got this recording, watch it every single week. And maybe it's not Friday, maybe it's Sunday for you, maybe it's Monday morning for you. But go through the process, get clear, and be intentional about what you're working on every single week. Good luck, coach. Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help.